Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
Today, we're talking about the fact that Caitlin Clark has been targeted by the Chicago Sky and by the WNBA in general. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. If you like Caitlin Clark, subscribe to our channel. If you like the Indiana Fever, subscribe to our channel. If you like football, subscribe to our channel. Just subscribe. Shout out to the gentleman that does Chicks Dig Scar podcast, because he did the research for this. I didn't even think about it. And he found out there had been 30 flagrant fouls so far in the WNBA, and 5 were against Caitlin Clark. That's 17%. The Chicago Sky have committed 5 flagrant fouls, 4 against Caitlin Clark. That's 80%. You think there's a pattern there, Rob?
Yeah, that goes down to what I was talking about with coaching. That's a definite coaching. I mean, how can you have your team just doing flagrant fouls? There's something that you're not telling your players. You know, it's okay to play aggressive, but not to do flagrant fouls. And then you try to hide behind it. Don't even honor it. It's like, oh, that happened? Oh, okay.
Right. Well, here's the thing. 30 flagrant fouls and 5 are to Caitlin Clark. That's a lot considering it's 144 people in the league, 17%. You know, it should be less than 1% if all other things being equal. So right. I want to go back to the fact that when she got hit by Kennedy Carter, they said, oh, they don't really hate her. They're not targeting her. They're not being physical with it. Otherwise, this was the first time it happened. Well, that wasn't the first time that she was roughed up. That was the first time that it made headlines, and it's the first time they finally called it flagrant one. But she had been hit hard in the head before against Seattle. It wasn't called even as a foul. She had a ruptured eardrum. That wasn't called as a foul. She'd been hit hard several times, got knocked to the ground. No fouls, no flagrants. There was never any flagrants called. And this was the first one. In fact, Rob, when it happened, as we saw, the ref looked at it and said, oh, that's just an off-the-ball foul. We'll just give it a free throw shot and not even review it.
Mark, it's just part of the game. It's part of the game, and that's what the WNBA is about. Right. Physical. They're a physical league. So, you know, she has to deal with it, Mark. She can't be why is she being such a baby about it? Gosh.
Obviously, by the definition, that's unnecessary. And I would argue it should have been a flagrant 2, which is excessive. And there's never been any suspensions in this league for afterwards. Like, I guess the worst that happened was Alyssa Thomas, after she dragged down Angel Reese, she got thrown out of the game. That's the only flagrant 2 that I remember. But there was no suspensions afterwards, Rob. I know it's a short season. They don't get paid a lot. But the commissioner, whose name is Kathy Engelbert, however, Ben Daniels' podcast, I'm going to steal this name from her. He calls her Kathy Engel Brain Dead. And I got to give him credit for that. He does a nice job at his podcast also, by the way. And so she has not cracked down on this, Rob, and that's why the league considered it to be more physical. Like, she should have upgraded that to a flagrant 2. In the same game, Angel Reese elbowed Caitlin Clark to the ground. That was a flagrant 1. There should have been a flagrant 1 in the Seattle game. And all the time, Rob, there's like in one game, Asia Wilson got hit 3 times in the mouth and was bleeding, and only 1 foul was called.
And also, what someone pointed out also, which I should have mentioned, after Carter did that, and Angel Reese was applauding, and she actually stepped on the court. It was still alive. She had both feet on the court. She should have been ejected. Right.
And after Kennedy Carter did that, that should have been flagrant 2, upgrade, and suspension. She did it again against Marina Mrabery, who used to play for the Chicago Sky, and basically hacked her right in the head. It didn't even look like she played for the ball. That was a flagrant 1. That should have been upgraded by the commissioner to flagrant 2. She should have been suspended at least 2 to 4 games. Nothing happened, Rob. And if nothing happens, guess what? Players continue to do that. That's what's going to happen.
Exactly. That's what's going to happen. And unfortunately, in life, until someone really gets hurt, then they'll do something, which really is so sad. If someone really gets hurt, if she had broken Mayberry's nose, which she did, she hit it right on top of the nose. I mean, if she had broken the nose and caused some facial damage, maybe then that would have happened.
And, Chicago Sky, I don't know why. They have two different players that really gone after, in Angel Reese, actually three. But it looked like she was just going after Caitlin Clark in that last game. Like she was bumping her, getting foul calls. They were legitimate foul calls, and she was upset the foul calls. And then she hip checked her from the side, and it was worse from the other angle. And the coach never criticized it, never said that's not what we're about. She hasn't done anything. So this league is disgusting. And should I have to say the obvious? If Caitlin Clark gets injured and is out for the year, all the people that they dragged in as fans because of Caitlin Clark are going to disappear because they're going to be upset, not only because she's injured, but because they didn't protect her before this by making a stand and suspending people. You got to start suspending people, Rob. You really do.
That's the main point, Mike. You're right, Mark. That's the main point. If something would happen, that there goes right there. I mean, people are going to be turned. People are already turned off already with the way the physical play is. That's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's going to be like, hey, I'm not watching this anymore. This is a joke. This league's a joke.
I am convinced at this point it's going to take an injury to Caitlin Clark for suspensions to start coming down, which is really sad because I hope it never happens in her entire career. Maybe it'll happen to somebody else, which is just as sad.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It seems like it's going to take an injury, a serious injury to someone before the league says, we got to crack down on this.
Right. That's what I was just saying.
Mm-hmm. Like the NBA was too slow to react to the Pistons, who were basically Bill Lambert was assaulting people when they drove to the basket. And eventually they got their act together. And that's how the Flagrant 1 and Flagrant 2 was instituted in basketball. That's because of Bill Lambert and the Pistons. Okay. But they cracked down eventually.
You see this. I mean, you see it in soccer. I mean, the red card comes out. I mean, she would have been red carded and thrown out of the game for that kind of play. But no, the commissioner, she just wants to promote this physical, and we're the best, and we're a physical league. That doesn't tie with people. People get bored with that. That's not. Nobody wants to see that. I want to see basketball.
And Rob, the fans are saying we don't want it to be this physical. So my question is, why isn't Kathy Engelbert, a great name by tennis contest. Right. Why isn't she doing anything? Why isn't she cracking down? Why isn't she reevaluating the refs, retraining them, telling them to crack down, getting new refs if they won't crack down? It seems like there's been nothing done. There was an upgrade after the Kennedy Carter smack, but they got it wrong. It should have been upgraded to a 2. And that's it. That's all they've done.
And my thing is, Mark, what about the media? What about reporters? I mean, if I was a reporter or into the WNBA reporter, I would call up and say, hey, you got all these flagrant fouls. Why aren't you doing anything about this? I would call her out, but nobody's calling her out.
It's a good point. Why hasn't the media called out Kathy Engelbert and saying, really grill her on questions like Rob just said? Like, why haven't you cracked down more? Are you waiting for someone to get injured? Why aren't these flagrant 2s instead of flagrant 1? This is excessive. That's the difference. These are intentional fouls. Yeah, why aren't you suspending anybody afterwards? Someone could get injured.
We're the so-called WNBA reporters who that's all they do is report on the WNBA. I mean, that's they're supposed to do if they're a journalist. Why don't you go up to the commissioner and ask her, hey, what's going on with this?
I don't know, Rob. I'm very disappointed in this league, and it really needs to clean it up quickly before someone gets hurt. And if you agree, subscribe to our channel. If you don't like the commissioner, subscribe to our channel. If you don't like Teresa Witherspoon, the coach, subscribe to our channel. If you like Caitlin Clark, subscribe to the channel. Just subscribe. We need 4,000 subscribers. We just got 4,000.
You make me happy.
We're growing fast. If you want to don't get Rob upset. Yeah, Rob gets upset. Look at that look. Yeah, you can't deal with that.
I know you're really scared. I know you're so scared now. I know.
And join us Wednesday night for hopefully it won't be any flagrant fouls that game. Caitlin Clark and the Indian Fever are going to play the Los Angeles Sparks, and it's 7 o'clock CBS Sports Network. So join us for that. Our normal live show resumes on Monday, September 9th. It's 6 to 8 Eastern time. It's every Monday except for major holidays. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to donate to this channel, hit super chats and super thanks down below. And there's also a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.